You're not that special, white girl.
Pardon? What? Where did that come from? What did I say?
I mean the TikTok comments. You think people are gonna listen to you yap?
Welcome to Wine About It.
I wanted to do it.
Go ahead. We'll cut out
Welcome to
mine.
Wine About.
Oh.
Wow, I thought this was Wine About It, not Fear In.
Have they noticed
What
that you
the
talk
hell?
every time? Talk.
Yeah, and I love it. Put it on the
Smack.
bingo card. Here I am talking shit on men.
We
It's
both
another
swore in
Monday.
the first 30 seconds. Should we start over?
Yeah, I guess you can put this on Patreon, but for YouTube, here you go. Welcome to Wine About It.
Welcome to Wine About It. We had to restart because Cutie wanted to say it and not me.
Yeah, that's why. Dude, I have bronzer on a weird side of my nose. Okay, this was my funny story that I was waiting until we went live for. I just ordered this coffee and a salad, and I went on a walk with Swift. I've listened, today's been a hard day, but I go on a walk with Swift. After forcing myself, I could not get my behind out the door, but I finally go on a walk with Swift. I order this. I tell myself, oh, when I get home, there'll be coffee and a salad waiting for me. How exciting. I walk up, and a few people don't know, but on my DoorDash order, I use a fake name every single time I order. And today I was feeling kooky and wild, and I just put Alexis, Texas. And the guy, I'm walking back to my house, and it's perfect timing. The guy just pulls up, and I'm wearing sunglasses and a hat and a big sweater and leggings because I was just on a walk with Swift and whatever. And he goes, "Oh my God, you're Margot Robbie."
No, he did not.
And I go, I started laughing. I was like, "What?" And he was like, "You're can I have a picture?" And I was like, No. He was like, "You're Alexis, Texas? Like, that's a fake name." And I was like, No. Big misunderstanding. I like took my glasses off, and I was like, I'm pretty sure Margot Robbie weighs 100 pounds. And he laughed, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know. It's a coffee and a salad, and you're blonde, and it's a fake name." And I was like,
That's so funny.
"That's funny."
Wait,
Yeah.
did you have to explain why you put Alexis, Texas? You're like, I was just...
No, we
funny.
breezed over that.
Wow.
It was funny though.
You do look like Margot Robbie. It's confirmed now by a third-party source.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
When I'm in an oversized hoodie, sunglasses, and glasses or hat.
That's huge.
Yeah. I could start charging for paparazzi photos.
Yeah.
I do need to lose approximately 50 pounds, and I'm pretty sure she's shorter than me.
You could start impersonating her on TikTok.
Oh, yeah. I could be. No, there's actually genuinely, there's probably a closer Margot Robbie lookalike that's already capitalized off that.
Probably.
That's hotter.
Oh.
So
Okay.
kudos to her.
That was today.
That was approximately 15 minutes ago.
You want to know what I did yesterday?
Yeah.
Went to the TommyInnit USA Comedy Tour.
You're so cool.
It was
No,
so
you're
cool.
cool.
It was so cool. I got Jack Manifold came
Did you
to
have to pay
Alves
for your
today.
ticket? Be honest.
No.
Tommy make you pay double?
No. Jack
Imagine.
Manifold who is on tour with Tommy, came to Alves today. And so he messaged me and he was like, "Do you want to come to the show, by the way? It's the day before." And I was like, "Yes, I want to go to the show." So then
It's so funny that you said yes.
And he
I'd
said-
be like, I'm good.
what? That is
Leaving your house?
so mean. Apologize.
I'll just
to
watch it
Tommy
on
and
YouTube, Tommy. Tommy, I'll watch it on YouTube.
Apologize to TommyInnit and Jack Manifold and Freddie.
I'm not apologizing, Jack. I hate that guy.
Okay. Well, he asked if I wanted to go. He asked if I wanted +1. I brought my boyfriend, who does not know who TommyInnit or Jack Manifold are, to the TommyInnit USA Comedy Tour.
That's awesome.
I know. So I like explained as well as I could who they were in the car on the way there, but I don't think I did a very good job because I was like,
no, do that. Explain to me who TommyInnit is, please.
I said TommyInnit is now probably like 20 years old, but in everybody's hearts, he's a 14-year-old Minecraft legend.
Jesus Christ.
That's what I said. And I said Jack Manifold is also a Minecraft YouTuber, but I said that and I don't think Jack has played Minecraft in like years. I think he told me today he made one Minecraft video ever. Yeah.
Why is he known as a Minecrafter?
Because all his friends are Minecrafters, but he doesn't do that. So anyway, I explained them both as Minecrafters.
You know what's some deep cut TommyInnit lore? I wonder if Fusion can find a clip. He probably can't. But deep cut TommyInnit lore is that he actually used to be a Ludwig ripoff.
Really?
Boys, today, this is going to be a fun stream.
He would do the same intro and everything. He'd say,
so
boys,
funny.
the plan is simple to like, 50 viewers and then 100 viewers and then 300. And then he joined the server or whatever and then got massive and then kind of developed his own identity. But I remember at one point there was like someone that posted him on Ludwig's Reddit and was like, this kid is so annoying. Trying to be Ludwig. And I remember checking him out. Specifically, I was like in Lud's room and I remember like showing it to Lud and I was like, have you seen this kid? And he was like, yeah, he had like Ludwig's soundtrack and everything, same songs. He would even wear Ludwig merch sometimes.
That's so cute.
It was very sweet. But Tommy's sweet and he's very funny.
The show itself was kind of like, he talked a lot about his life and he talked about how he would like study. You know how some people just kind of fall into being a creator and like don't know what they're doing, and then some people are like, I want to be a YouTuber, like, and they like study and they start it, whatever. He was like a studier, like,
yeah, that makes sense.
Was determined to be a YouTuber, creator, whatever. Apparently, he went from 1,000 viewers to 200,000 in a month when Minecraft was really taking off. Which is
I think he did.
Insane. Anyway, so I went to the show. I did have a bit of a panic before I went to the show because I was like, what does one wear to a TommyInnit USA Comedy Tour show? And I was going to ask you, and I should have, and I didn't.
Did you get recognized once at that show?
Not a single time. I think...
You are nothing.
I'm too old and too irrelevant. We were leaving.
Yeah,
he was like,
both.
Jack messaged me. He was like, oh, go in this creator entrance so you don't get mobbed. And I was like, I appreciate that you respect me that much, but I'm not getting mobbed by Minecrafters. They're not going to know who I am. And
did I ever talk about on the podcast how I got licked at TwitchCon?
By who?
I think I avoided talking about it because it was so close to dude, there's bronzer on my nose and it's all fucked up. So essentially, sorry, I'm not cutting you off. This is part of this story. Okay. But there was this it was
TommyInnit.
TwitchCon it was TommyInnit. He freaking licked me. No. It was TwitchCon not last year, but the last year in San Diego. And there was this Twitch Rivals thing where actually Atrioc was my partner and Stans and Point Crow were partners. And like we had this airplane challenge, all sorts of stuff. Fun event. However, there were Minecrafters in it. I don't remember whomst. It might have been like Snapnap and George. And Snapnap. What's the drink? Snapple?
Snappity nappity.
Snappity nappity. Snapple and George, and they were on a team or whatever. And like, it was right after like Dream's face reveal or something. And so it's like crazy, right? And the whole audience is Minecrafters and they're just like, I'm not kidding you. It'd be like they'd introduce a team and we would be like, might as well be garbage outside blowing in the wind. And then they like say like Punz's name and everyone would be like, ah! Like, yeah. And it was like, and I think Foolish was there and I don't know, a bunch of Minecrafters. But anyway, we're in this area off to the side and we had security that we could like have us walk places. But after that event, we're in the room and all the security is with the Minecraft boys and
not you guys.
And not us.
Don't need it.
We don't need it. Yeah. And there's this big mob. I'm not kidding you. A big mob forming outside of that room. And that room is at the corner of the venue. And the big mob at the very end of the conference center. So if the San Diego Conference Center is like a line kind of, and then it's like, and wraps around. But we're at this corner anyway, right there, big mob here. And it's the last day of the convention. So they're like, convention center, not conference center. So they're big mob outside. And then they're like, okay, it's closed. Like, and they start herding people out. But this mob is just staying there in the building. They won't leave. And I say I forget who it was. It was a Minecraft girl. And she was like, oh, don't go out there. And I was like, they don't know who I am. Right. And I go out there and it just took one person who knew Ludwig. And then it was, cutie, can I have a picture? And I was like, so I walk back in and this lady starts escorting everybody out. She goes out the doors. So she's like, hey, man, I barely remember this now, but she's pushing everyone out the doors. And so finally I'm like, great, I can walk out because I was meeting people for dinner at a steakhouse. And so, and the whole conference inside should be closed. And you have a special badge if you're like partner and you have, I had a different extra badge for extra security. And so I walk out and the conference lady's like, okay, go out. And I was like, can I just walk down since it's empty? Because there's a big crowd outside. And this was the same crowd that just stopped me. And she's like, no. And I was like, then can I have a security guard to walk me out? And she was like, you can find them. And I was like, okay. Like I couldn't. They said they were with the Minecraft boys. And like, sure enough, I see a bunch of security walk by with the Minecraft boys outside. And everyone's just like, woo! And I'm like, and so she's like, you just have to go. You just have to, you got to go out. And I was like, but I have the extra badge. She's like, I don't care. Get out. And I'm like, frick. And I'm like, well, they've already seen the Minecraft boys. They should be fine. Anyway, I walk out and like a circle starts forming around me. And so I'm like, guys, I have to go to dinner. Like, please, like, just pull your phones out and let's just do picture. Right. And so I'm like really, really fast. And so I'm just leaning. And finally I lean in with this guy and he turns and he licks my cheek.
You didn't even tell me that.
Really?
I don't think so. I feel
definitely did.
I feel like I would remember that. That's really alarming. What'd you do?
I said, I distinctly went, what the f-? And then like people around were like, bro. And like people like grabbed him kind of like it was a bunch of young people, to be honest. They kind of like pushed him out of the way. And I was like, sorry guys, I've got to go. And that's all I did. And then I started walking away and I don't remember who it was, but somebody saw me disheveled. God, who were you? You were so amazing. And you were like, cutie, do you need my help? And I was like, yes. And they come and they stood next to me. It was this might be mean. It was a smaller streamer. I think I've told this story on stream before and they helped me. Maybe it wasn't a smaller streamer. Maybe it was like, it wasn't Dean because I would know Dean. It was someone that I just don't interact with very often. And they helped me walk all the way down and they like walked me in a corner so I could walk to dinner. I don't remember who it was though, but it was a homie move, but yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, sometimes you don't think the Minecraft audience will know you and then you end up getting licked.
By a Minecraft child.
Yeah, he wasn't a child. He was bigger. He had like a beard, like a scraggly beard.
Bad like that happened at Twitch. We had that guy.
Part of me thinks it was an accident.
Step on him, but that was it.
Yeah,
but I haven't had anyone do that. That sucks. It's kind of hard to lick someone on accident.
I know, but it's just what I want to believe because it's just easier.
Okay.
I remember I felt really gross about it that even like the Yard boys told the story about it and I was like, yo, can you not use my name? But now I feel fine about it. I don't really care. Because I was nervous it was like a stalker that finally got a hold of me or whatever, but it really seemed to be random. Random drive-by licking.
Weirdo. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So you didn't get licked?
None of the Minecrafters know. None of the Minecrafters knew me. And Jack was like, you should go in the side entrance so that you don't get mobbed. I was like, that's not going to happen, but like, sure. And I remember walking by a group of them and they were all wearing TommyInnit merch. And I was like, all right, here's the first test. Not even like they looked at me and then looked past me and I was like, we're in there. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Fine, that's safe. Fine. And then, I went in the back entrance, whatever. There was like a little green room. We hung out in the green room. And then we also, on the way out when I was leaving, more evidence that they have no idea who I am. There were some of them like waiting in this alley, which is not chill. You should not do that. But they were like, there's a mob of them waiting in the alley and there was a security guard. And they like, I wanted to go home because it was like late. And I was like, it's time to go. And they wouldn't let me leave because they were like, there are fans out there, so you can't leave or you'll get mobbed. And I was trying to convince them that I was irrelevant. I was like, I'm telling you guys, those kids do not know who I am. Like, I swear, I can just walk right by them. You watch. And they were like, no, like, you cannot go out there. So eventually they did let me leave, and then they had me go around, so I had to walk around the whole building. But all of the kids, they all just are like deer in the headlights staring at me and Caleb because they saw us walking out, but there was nothing there. Like, they were like, oh, nothing. They thought it was like
I genuinely think mine was because of Ludwig.
Ew. He wants to lick Ludwig.
No. That people only knew who Cutie Cinderella was because they knew Ludwig, because Ludwig's interacted with like Tommy and then blah blah blah.
Yeah. Well, they did not know who I was. My fit, I put on a dress and I was like, oh, like I'll look cute, wear a dress,
try hard.
Whatever. Yeah, and exactly. And I was like, too much. Oh my God. Like, this is embarrassing.
Who am I trying to impress?
Yeah, it was embarrassing. So I took off the dress and like the whatever accessories, and then I put on jeans and a t-shirt because I was like, I want to look cool and like I don't care that I'm at TommyInnit's comedy show.
Wow. How was the show?
It was great. It was, you know what was interesting is that they like, you know, in the intro, whatever, and I didn't really think about it because I know that their audience is younger, but I didn't really think about how young, because their audience is like 14 at the youngest, right? So like, yeah, they can't show up alone. Like they're a child, so they brought their parents, and like
that's cute.
Yeah, and like TommyInnit shouted out the parents, and I was like, what a crazy concept. I've never
shout out the parents.
Yeah, and I think it's like a TikTok thing, or maybe it's a TommyInnit community thing, but they were screaming, and it's not just because they were so young. Like, they sounded like Alvin and the Chipmunks. They were saying yippee. They're like, yippee, yippee, yippee. And it would like go around the crowd. It was like, yippee, 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 yippee. The whole show. But they sounded like chipmunks. Like, I don't think it was just their age. It was like, yeah.
Like it was like a thing.
I guess. I don't know.
Weird. It's like 1, 2, 3, let's go, bitch. But yippee.
But yippee. Yeah. It was a lot.
Any inters in the comments, you let us know about the yippies.
I didn't even know they were called that.
I don't know what they're called.
Well, it was interesting because I know next to nothing about TommyInnit besides he's really famous in Minecraft. So he's got crazy stage presence, like past Austin show stage presence. It was
don't say that. Austin
telling you,
was so upset.
It was very impressive. Like,
he
came out there.
Should host the Streamer Awards with me.
Yes. No, it would be his show if he did that.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
He came out there and just like commanded those children. He was like,
really?
They were like, dude, he had them wrapped around his finger. It was amazing.
That's hype.
And he would do the thing where like you like raise your hand and they all scream, and then you raise your other hand and they all scream, and it was like intense. Like
he's Taylor Swift. Yeah.
He was very good at it. So that was cool. Jack Manifold's in the show. He's very funny. So that was cool. They played some clips. It was fun. Kids, they all screamed whenever he mentioned any other creator, which is interesting. I can't imagine what the parents were thinking or if they know. I bet the parents were thinking similar to what Caleb was thinking, which was like, because if you don't know who TommyInnit is, you would find this show very confusing. Because it's not just like stand up, you know, it's like a produced show for fans. So they were probably very confused. Caleb was very confused. But it was a fun time. It was funny. A lot of energy, a lot of screaming. I think they loved it. So it's great.
I've always been curious about so I went to Trash Taste Live. So great. So those boys put on a freaking show. They did something cute where they do God, I don't remember the segments. Do I remember anything anymore? I feel like my life is a blur. They do something. They essentially, there's 3 segments and each of them is in charge of one. One was like a Jeopardy-esque segment. One was like a debate-esque segment, but between the 2 of them or 3 of them. And then one was something where the audience answer questions, kind of like a Family Feud, but maybe that was a Jeopardy. I'm not entirely sure. But they just do segments like that. But then there's other people like the Canceled podcast tour where I'm pretty sure they just do a Q&A, which at whatever freaking town they're in, and just do that. And so it's interesting to see how people do live shows. Like I remember one of the first, maybe I'm wrong here, but well, no, I'm not wrong here when I say this. One of the first like YouTube groups that I saw going on tour, and I was like, what the f- does that mean? Was Try Guys. I remember they were doing like the Try Guys tour, and I'm like, what? You guys make YouTube videos. What are you going to do on tour?
What did they do on tour?
I still don't know. I'm pretty sure they did like some, because I know Keith is in like a parody band, so I think they did some parody songs, but I assume it's something similar to like the Trash Taste tour. But it's so interesting how if you have a following, how you could just like do a tour and people will blindly sign up at times just because they like you.
Yeah, we could never.
We could do a tour.
Could not do
and no one would
tour.
show up.
Nobody would show up. It's a crazy concept. I like going to
I know
any big city in the US and expecting to have fans that, not just fans there, but fans that will buy tickets and show up that night. Crazy.
Yeah.
I could never.
If we did a tour, what do you think our specialties would be? Like, let's like how do you think we would fill a 2-hour show so people don't get scammed? I could do my stand-up. We've got 7.5 minutes.
You could do stand-up. I think we just do a Q&A. I think we just talk to the audience.
Really?
I think it'd be like
That's
TwitchCon.
so lame. We need like a thing.
A duet.
Can you speed paint? Can you speed paint upside down and then flip it over and the whole crowd goes,
I don't think so.
Oh.
We could do gymnastics.
Could you learn magic?
We could do tumbling. I could like
Okay.
I could stand on your shoulders. We could do somersaults.
Oh, we could learn what like the stuff at the burlesque show that the bald men did where
We're
they
not doing
with their feet.
burlesque on tour. Imagine we launch a tour
Let
and we're
me
like,
live.
we're going on tour's burlesque tour, Maya and Cutie.
Yeah, I'm out.
That would go kind of crazy.
What could we do? I could do approximately 10 to 20 jumping jacks.
That's good.
You think people would wanna watch that?
I can't think of much I would do on stage besides yap. Because I'm not singing and I'm not dancing.
You're not that special. White girl.
Pardon? What? Where did that come from? What did I say?
I mean the TikTok comments. You think people are going to listen to you yap? White
That's
girl?
I wouldn't do it. I already said we have no shot at doing a tour.
Great. Now we're not going
Also,
on tour.
I would hate it. They're like traveling around. Same with Canceled Podcast. You travel around state to state in a bus.
I don't want to travel around. I would do one live show once.
That's not a
Should we do
tour.
one live show in LA?
Sure, but that's not a tour.
What are we going to do if no one comes?
People would.
It'll be kind of funny if no one comes.
It'd be really funny if no one came. And then we just go live on our phone, and it f's the whole time. It's bad audio.
Wait, I could just do the venue I did for the first Christmas concert. It fits 20 and we could be like, we sold out our live show.
20 is sad. It's scary.
You don't want to do it?
I don't want to do a podcast in front of 20 people. That's like doing a class presentation, like a school presentation.
How many people are you trying to do? You think you're nice, white girl?
How many people did we have? Why do you keep saying that? How many people did we have at TwitchCon? Like a lot. That
Like
that
500.
Was it? No.
Yeah.
Oh.
It sat 700 and it was a 3/4 full, so I would say 500.
That was fine. Let's just sell 500
okay.
tickets.
Yeah.
Let's just sell 500
I can't even.
tickets. Then it'll
Okay.
be fine.
Okay. Okay. I'll work on this for the next time you're in LA.
Great.
Actually, I felt like Taylor Swift today.
Okay.
Because in Miss Americana, she talks about how her life is planned out years in advance. And she's just like, oh, crap, guess I'm on tour for 3 years. And then I have an album release. And then I have this. And wow, you know. And today I had a call with my agency to go over my events and dates. And I was just choosing dates willy-nilly, you know, no attachment to them. I was like, oh, murder mystery here, master baker there, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, that's the rest of the year filled out. And then I was like, I don't like that feeling.
I had a bit of an existential spiral recently because I was like, wow, I'm here. I love Elvis, don't get me wrong, and I love Texas, but I was like, wow, I am here for
Does anyone in
time.
chat comments know how I can buy the old LA Zoo?
She said this to my boyfriend yesterday. She was like, if I buy the LA Zoo, will you move to LA and Maya can have Elvis at the LA Zoo? Which the LA Zoo is fully operational and not for sale.
No, there's two zoos. Dummy.
She's talking about the old one.
The old one, they turn it into a park or something, but like, could I buy it? And how much is it?
I think we could just set up shop. Who's gonna kick us out?
Yeah, oh. Well, I thought you were talking about like somewhere else in LA. And I got excited almost because you said we could just set up shop, and I thought that meant you could just. And I was like excited for a second, but you were just being facetious.
I'm not moving to LA. I was saying we could set up shop at the old LA Zoo and wait to see who kicks us out.
Old LA Zoo it's primo. They already have little built-ins that little things can live in.
It actually
but they just turned it into a park.
So cool, the idea of buying like an abandoned zoo and just redoing the enclosures that already have like some sort of basis. That is really cool. But I am stuck here, dude.
Unless I buy it for you as a Christmas present.
Okay. Thank you. That'd be really nice.
If I bought it for you as a Christmas present and you didn't use it, that'd be
really, really mean.
Yeah, really but I don't. Number one, I don't know how to buy it. Number two, I don't think I know how much it costs or if I have the money.
It costs
but someone might. Hey, TikTok, do you know how I can buy that old zoo? Apparently, it's haunted, spooky.
Ooh.
They say there's these ghost tours. It's like come interact with the dead animal spirits, and I'm like, I don't want to.
That's crazy.
I don't want to do that.
I'm really glad I don't believe it. I'm really glad I'm grateful for several things.
Oh,
I'm grateful that
brave.
I don't believe in ghosts, because I would be scared all the time at night walking around. If you actually think ghosts are real, then like that sounds awful. And I'm also really grateful that I'm not afraid of bugs, because they're everywhere. Imagine seeing a bug and being like, my quality of life would be so much worse.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
I would not want to deal with that. I have had existential spirals recently. Not existential, it's the wrong word. That like I love it here and I'm very happy right now, but that like in 5 years I can't just like, oh, I feel like moving to Montana. You know, I will
move
not
to
be able to do that.
Nantucket and start an apple orchard.
Why? It's so random. I want to go.
Isn't that where Snapple grabs their juice?
I don't know.
Where
I almost
is
had
Nantucket?
to
Let's
pull
be
a
honest.
goat out of another goat a couple days ago.
Ew. That sucks.
Yeah, I also had to. You would have hated it. I had to pick up a goat that had just come out of a goat, and it was like sopping wet, covered in blood.
Covered in sauce.
Covered in placental sauce.
Wow. Did it live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This goat had later eggs, later babies in the middle of the field, in the middle of the frickin' field, and it was gonna rain because she's dumb. So we had to pick up the babies and move them inside, and they were wet. Also, like yolky, like almost like egg yolk.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wait, how many babies do goats carry?
Like 2, 3 if you're crazy. 1 if you're not crazy. And then this other goat was pregnant, and she had this like sack hanging out of her. It looked like a big raindrop, but veiny and bloody.
I think that's the placenta.
No, because it was before she gave birth. It was like, I don't know if it's just amniotic fluid or some kind of sac. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've actually I'm just helping my neighbor. For context, my neighbor has a farm with goats. I'm just helping him with his does because they're all birthing right now. And this one goat had a sack hanging out, and he was like, oh, the baby's probably too big to come out. That's why she hasn't gone into labor. So then we were trying to catch her so that we could yank it out, which is very, yeah, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, is it the plug? I heard there's like a mucus plug.
Dude, it was like,
I don't know,
like this big.
Anything. That's a big ass plug.
And it was
if it's
hanging
a
down
plug.
like this far. It was pretty big.
I don't fuck with her. I don't
Anyway,
fuck with that goat.
We couldn't
And a
catch
plug.
her, and then my neighbor decided to give her until morning, and then the next morning he pulled it out himself. I don't know how.
With his teeth.
Ew, no, with his hands. And the mom lived somehow, and the baby did not.
What the fuck?
It was backwards.
He shouldn't have pulled it out.
Yes, he should have. She was
He
going
should've
to
let
die.
the baby live
The
there
dead
forever.
one in there?
Was he alive in there?
No, he was dead in there.
Oh,
He died.
that's sad.
Yeah, and he was backwards.
Maybe because his freaking plug came out too early.
I don't know what happened. Again, I haven't pulled goats out of the womb since I was 10 years old.
Well, I'm pissed. I'm
So I'm a
pissed
little-
that goat died.
I'm a little
I'm
rusty.
pissed off.
You want to see a picture of one of the babies?
Yeah.
It's cute.
There's a helicopter outside. Nobody panic.
Nobody panic. Oh, yeah. He's going to have like 50 baby goats. I'm so excited. I want to have a baby goat party. Pull it
Oh,
up,
you're sending it in the
producer.
pictures.
Pull him up.
Hey, producer, show that goat.
That's my buddy right there.
That's a good little goat.
Isn't that
It
cute?
kind of looks like Durs makes the same face.
Yeah, he's not thinking too much.
Look at that
There he
stupid little
is.
thing.
I didn't pull that one out. He birthed on his own, easy peasy. I didn't meet him until he was dry.
Nice. That's my ideal way to meet babies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fuck with wet babies.
Dude. I just talked to someone the other day about birthing. I saw a TikTok the other day of a pregnant woman who fell down her stairs, just like 2 little concrete steps leaving her house, and then she started bawling, thinking that she killed the baby, and then they had to rush her to the hospital to check. I never really thought about the fact that you can't fall or like hit your stomach while you're pregnant. Like, that's so much pressure.
I guess I just don't fall that much, so I've never thought about it.
I don't either, but when you're pregnant, you can't see your feet.
Do you think, you know how I ran into that glass door that one time really hard and I hit my head on it? If
Yeah.
I was pregnant, that baby would have saved my life. I guess I didn't die, but...
The baby would die, though.
Oh, you think?
No.
On Mush him?
No, I don't think so. But you're right.
He would have saved me from having a concussion.
It's actually really messed up that you weren't pregnant. Wait, I thought I was
Yeah.
pregnant last week.
I know, she texted me a
Wait.
photo.
Was it yesterday?
It was, I was working. Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yesterday. Yeah, I sent Cutie a picture of my pee-pee.
Yeah, it was negative.
And by
Don't
pee-pee,
worry,
I don't
everyone.
mean my penis. I mean my actual urine.
That'd be crazy if you just sent me a picture of your vagina. You're like, hey, guess what, motherfucker?
I sent her a picture of my pregnancy test because it was negative, and I said, wahoo. But it had pee on it.
Yeah, she didn't wipe off her pee first.
Why would I wipe it off if I'm just going to throw it away?
Because it has to sit there for so long. It was just sitting there with droplets on it.
It sits there for 2 minutes.
Sometimes.
It was a
Aren't you
2-minute
supposed to wait
test.
up to 15 minutes?
No, it was a 2-minute test. Boom, bam.
Well, I started drinking peppermint tea to help lower my cortisol and testosterone because I know it's high because I grow little freaking beard hairs every once in a while and they piss me off. And so I started drinking spearmint tea to try to like combat because it's supposed to help with testosterone and stuff like that. But now my period's late, so I might take a pregnancy test too, even though I'm pretty sure it's a spearmint tea. Fucking
I've
all my
been
shit up, but in a
saying-
good way.
We should take one on FaceTime and we can say 1, 2, 3, go, and then we pee and then we wait together.
We
And then
could
we do
race.
We do a reveal. We could put it on
first
the
to 100
Patreon.
pregnancy test race.
Oh, we could put it on the Patreon. Our reveal.
If one of us was pregnant during a pregnancy test race, that'd be so funny.
I don't think that'd be funny at all.
'Cause we'd be sitting there being like, and then we'd be like, oh, fuck.
I was actually normal. Okay, I've taken quite a few pregnancy tests in my day, as have everybody, except
Yeah,
for men.
sometimes you gotta take one to feel something.
Yeah, but normally I'm not actually scared. I'm just like, oh, I should just check. But this time, I really kind of convinced myself this time. Like, I was stressed.
I do that sometimes.
I randomly was spotting for the men out there that don't know what that means. I was just bleeding.
She got
from my
polka
vagina.
dots on her face. Oh, Oh, you're gonna tell them that reason? You're gonna tell them that spotting?
I was.
Oh, you're gonna lie to them?
Bleeding one day randomly. It's a week before my period. So abnormal.
People, could you imagine?
Just
randomly bleeding out of your wiener?
Yeah.
It's fucked up shit.
And the other thing that was weird about it is it wasn't normal menstrual blood. It was like normal blood, like cut your finger blood. And I was like,
weird.
Did I cut myself? Like what is
Dude,
this?
I did the other day shaving.
No.
Ow! Cut a freaking like lip. It hurt like hell.
It bleeds a lot.
I screamed. It bleeds a ton. Ow! It's like I can still feel it. It's definitely healed, but the moment it happened,
maybe I was
like,
spotting
fuck.
in solidarity.
Yeah,
because we're synced up.
Yeah. Any blood that comes out of me comes out of you.
Ew. So I was spotting, and then I just had like the craziest mood swings, but that might just be because I'm myself. And then I was convincing myself that my stomach felt heavier than normal. I was like,
oh, I do that.
I was like, something's wrong. And I was like standing in the shower.
I just become, oh.
You like stand in the shower and like look down at your stomach and you're like, yeah, I'm pregnant. It's like a bump. Like I'm pregnant.
You're like, I can feel the baby.
I can feel it.
It's the size of a peanut right now.
He's speaking to me. I can hear it like a voice in my head.
I sometimes will become very aware of like my urethra and like just convince myself I have a UTI. Like if you just think about where your pee comes out, you can just convince yourself you have a like in seconds.
Audio listeners, I just did it.
Audio listeners, I've got a UTI now. Did we ever talk about, we might have talked about this because I know I saved it as a topic. It's a bit of a heavier one. Did I ever talk to you about the girl that like grew up in my ward, who I like followed on Instagram for years, and she had a miscarriage.
In your what?
Very, very early.
In your
what?
Ward? In your ward?
Oh, in Mormons, you have a ward, and then you have a stake, and then you have a district, and then you have
like a grade, like your class.
No. Okay. Okay.
It a
so there's a
is
McDonald's
crazy.
close to your house, right?
Yeah.
So you got a McDonald's close to your house, and 100 of you can go to that McDonald's from 8 to 11, and then another 100 of you can go from 11 to 2, and then another 100 of you, because otherwise they run out of freaking biscuits. And so there's one church building, but there's multiple wards that go to that church building.
I see. Okay.
But I decided to break it down with McDonald's.
Yum.
Because it makes them a little more fun.
Okay.
But she was in the same ward as me, and I can't remember if we talked about this. If we talked about this, we talked about it so long ago. It's when we were in person, because I distinctly remember wanting to bring it up because it was just kind of like a little bizarre. I think everybody handles miscarriages differently. And like my sister's had a miscarriage. I know people with miscarriages. I've seen different ways people handle it. This girl had a miscarriage very early. I think it was in like the first 3 months, and still named the baby and posts pictures of like the fetus on her Instagram.
Did she name it after she miscarried or before?
I think before. And so then she gave birth to it and like posts like pretty graphic pictures, and like has a picture of her this is where I think it's like fucked up, is she showed, so she has, I think she has like a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old that she like has a picture of her showing them the fetus. Like they're all in the living room, and she just like has the fetus in her hand, in a towel cloth in her hand.
Is it like clean?
And they're like looking at it.
Is it clean in the picture?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's some fucked up shit I didn't want to see.
Yeah, that's
and
really intense.
She'll still like post about it, and she'll still like she'll like, I unfollowed her because it was getting like aggressive. But she'll like post updates on like, oh, they would have been 2, and your brother still asks about you, and da 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 da. And it's just like, it's a lot.
That's really sad.
I know, it's really sad.
That is one of those weird things where it's like you can't really say how you should handle something like that. So like
I'm just concerned for like the kids. I feel like that's a lot for like children to process.
Yeah.
But maybe it's good for them to process. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
You're telling me.
I hate answering questions about how to deal with kids. I can't even like, it stresses me out to think about like kids and Santa Claus and stuff like that.
Dude, I have the saddest. My sister is so sad right now because my nephew isn't getting playtime on his baseball team. And there's like drama. Like there's so much like inner working. Apparently he's not the best, but he's not like bad. And it's more like political. Like dads aren't getting along or like, you know, stuff like that.
Yuck.
I know, so lame.
That's so
I know, right?
embarrassing.
Dude, I know.
I had a basketball coach that hated me.
Sorry, what?
What?
Because I liked our moment of silence deciding where to pivot after talking about miscarriages
and baseball drama. I had a basketball coach that hated me when I was a kid. It was weird. I don't really know why, because I don't remember being all that sassy to him. But it was
Maybe
like my mom
didn't like you.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I was sassy. I don't know. But my mom talked to him at one point. I remember that.
Did I ever tell you what happened to me in 3rd grade? It shaped me.
No.
Oh, I could go so dark with this, but I decided not to. I decided to tell the actual story. Okay. I mean, I could have told it's another real story, but I don't want to. That thing definitely shaped me too, but we'll focus on the one I was going to tell.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm in 3rd grade and we would do this thing. We'd have reading time like once a week or whatever. And we were reading James and the Giant Peach. And we would sit at the reading carpet and she would have each kid read a paragraph, right? And it was so fun. And she would raise your hand if you wanted to read. And then she would choose someone. And then you'd raise your hand. She'd choose someone. And one time we're sitting there. I'm raising my hand. No one else is raising their hand. I'm the only one. And she chooses somebody else. And I'm like, oh, that person finishes their paragraph. She says, who wants to read the next one? Little old me doesn't choose me. Chooses someone else. This goes on for like the whole time to the point that I go home and I'm crying on my walk home.
She never chose you?
She never chose me. Miss freaking, I won't say your name. You're probably in heaven now because you were older. But this was not nice, lady. So she never chose me. And so then I go home, I'm crying. I tell my mom about how I really wanted to have a chance to read James and the Giant Peach in front of the class. And she wouldn't choose me. So my mom calls the school as any tiger mom would, and calls the school, gets a hold of the teacher and is like, hey, why aren't you letting my little baby ass bitch read in class? And then the teacher said, because she's so bad at reading, I didn't want to embarrass her. I think you need to get her tested for dyslexia.
Oh my God.
My mom phrased it to me nicer, obviously. And we got tested for dyslexia and all these things. But then the next week, spontaneously during reading corner, we are not reading James and the Giant Peach, which was crazy because we were halfway through that bitch. And we're suddenly reading like a picture book.
Save.
And then she chooses me to read. And I was like, this is my time to shine, baby.
Wow. That's crazy embarrassing.
Yeah, I think about it sometimes. I wonder if I was like insufferable to hear read. Like if I was that bad. I don't remember being bad. It's the crazy thing.
Evidently.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I don't think you're that bad at reading now. You're really bad at spelling though.
I mean, I've overcome my, I work hard on it. Spelling, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah. It's
some words are just the same.
Things could be worse. You're really good at speaking.
Irrelevant, irreverent, those are the same fucking words. Those are the same words. You cannot tell me otherwise.
I've talked about my worst teacher experience before. Remember my Japanese teacher in high school?
Mm-mm.
in high school, my Japanese teacher hated me. And I was like a brat, I guess. Like I was annoying in high school. And she had an instruction sheet that she passed out. And I folded it a bunch of times just because I was like fiddling, you know, I fiddle. Yeah. I'm a fiddler. And so I folded the instruction sheet a bunch of times. And then she was really mad that I did that because then she thought she had to throw it away. And I was like, just unfold it. And then she said that it was extortion. And she was like, this is extortion. And I was like, that's not what extortion means. And then she thought that I was being racist because her English was not her first language because she spoke Japanese.
Oh my
first.
God.
And I was like,
she did not like you.
And I was like, girl, I'm not like, this is not about your English. It's like, you can't accuse me of extortion for folding a sheet of paper. And she sat me in this was when I think I was either
I
a
wish
sophomore.
she would have reported you. I wish your ass went to jail. Finally, something interesting about you.
For extortion? Like, yeah. What? I would not let it go because I'm not going to let someone accuse me of extortion for folding a piece of paper. And she sat me in the back corner of the classroom and she made me write. Like, this. I was like a junior in high school or something. Way too old to do this. But I was sitting in the back.
I will not extort.
I was like, I don't even remember. I was writing an apology like a bunch over and over. And then she called my mom. Like in high school, which I don't know, maybe they do that in high school. It just seemed like I was way too old for that. My mom works full time in tech, is a very like
she's busy
busy lady, and she came into school, and I was sitting in the classroom, and my teacher showed her what I did, like showed her the piece of paper, and she was like, she talked back when I told her that this wasn't okay, and my mom went off on this woman. She was like,
that's so funny.
She was like, do you have any idea how busy I am and what I had to move around to get here? And this is what you're showing me? Like, what problem do you have with my daughter? Do you want to, like, she was like, you want to talk about that? Did you giggle? Now? No, I was terrified. I was sitting in the back corner of the classroom and I was like, oh, it's going down. This is not good.
My mom's going to beat her up.
It was crazy. She was like, what problem do you have with my daughter? Because this is not the problem. This cannot be the reason you called me in today. She was very mad about being brought in.
That's crazy.
I don't even remember how it ended. I blacked out and then we left. That was the most trouble I've ever gotten.
She died
in school, I think.
Dude, one time I wore shorts that were too short.
No.
Me and 3 girls were walking down the hallway. We were in the shortest shorts, you know, showing off our little tushies. And then we get sent to the principal's office or whatever because our shorts, they were cracking down that week, I guess. And great news, you get sent there. They give you free pair of sweats, brand new comfy ass sweats that say no to drugs down the side.
That's
I'm like,
sick.
This is actually swag. Yeah, they were so sick. I probably still have them somewhere. They're so sick.
Get dress coded, kids.
Yeah, get dress coded if you can.
I don't think
it was awesome.
I don't think I ever got dress coded.
Dude, I did get suspended in elementary school for a day once.
For what? In elementary school?
Me and this bitch named Sarah, we used to hang out. We started a band when we were kids. Yeah, me and her were like an episode of Sweet Life and Zach and Cody. I had my Mormon friend, Alicia, and I would always hang out with Alicia and them. And then every once in a while I'd sneak out, go hang out with Sarah. And it was crazy. We would start a dog wash company and we'd go door to door and knock on people's door and be like, $20. We'll wash your dog.
Right now in your bathtub?
No, we would use the hose outside.
Okay.
But we brought our own soaps and brushes. We're amazing. And then
I would not let children do that to my dog. I would be like, get off my doorstep.
Okay. We do dog wash, car wash at one point. I don't remember, but we were always up to something. And we had a band. We were called like something to do with kittens. Everything's always with kitties in my life. It was always kitties. I think we were like the bad kitties or something like that. I don't remember. But Sarah and I, when I hung out at her house, Sarah's house was literally a crack den. I didn't realize it was a crack den until I'm an adult. And now I'm like, oh my God, Sarah grew up in a crack den. But like, I remember one time we were at her house and she was like, you want to know what's cool about my house? And I was like, what? And she like spit and she just spit on the floor. And she was like, it just soaks in eventually. And I was like, that's awesome. And so we would just spit on the floor.
Ew.
I saw my first R-rated movie at Sarah's house. I saw It was, I don't know what it is, but it was a movie with Ben Stiller and his
IRL?
penis.
Oh, I was like,
penis gets stuck in a zipper. I don't know what the movie was, but I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening?
Ew.
Yeah, Sarah's house was crazy. There were birds everywhere. There's bird poop everywhere. There's crack everywhere. It was crazy.
How'd you get suspended?
Because sometimes at Sarah's house, we'd pants each other. So funny. We'd walk to school together. Sometimes we'd pants each other.
Okay.
And so we're at the playground, and I ran up and I pantsed her. Apparently that doesn't fly on the playground.
Huh. You got suspended for pantsing someone? That's crazy.
I know. Sarah thought it was funny, too.
Yeah, that seems like really aggressive.
Yeah, they suspended me, and as I'm getting walked out, Sarah was in her class, and she pointed at me and laughed, and my mom was like, you can't hang out at Sarah's house. I was like, come on.
Oh my God.
My family had one cell phone, so that like the whole family kind of shared instead of a landline, and my mom would take it to work or something, and then she'd come back, and it'd be like on its charger port, and sometimes I would text Sarah, and I remember Sarah would swear, but I couldn't swear. And I remember texting what the hell, HALL,
saved
to avoid swearing. Yeah. But then my sister saw the text before I deleted it. And then my sister went and told my mom that I swore.
But you didn't even swear. She's fake. She's a liar.
I know. My sister's being an asshole.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't recall really having any crazy friends. Like in elementary school, no. We had a double Dutch team. And we were really competitive.
We grew up in different neighborhoods, I think.
We had I mean, it was not organized. It was just there were double Dutch ropes. And then we made teams. And we chose colors, like gangs. Like we were like double Dutch gangs. And we would fight.
Oh,
not
wow.
physically. But like, it was like a Mean Girls thing. It was like the double Dutch teams were like arch nemesis. Yeah. But that's about all the drama that I had in elementary school. No cracked ends.
I had so much drama my whole life.
No, one time, I don't know why this just came to mind, because I'm thinking about elementary school. One time there was a boy that I had a crush on, and somehow I convinced him to come over to my house for a play date to hang out. I must have been in like 3rd grade or something. I convinced him to come over. Yeah, and it was like just me and him at my house, and I was like, oh my God, this is cool. And I was like walking around because I had all these animals I was like introducing to my animal friends, and then I had a pig, and her name was Bella, and she was eating, and then she threw up. Because she ate too fast, and I got like really embarrassed.
On behalf of the pig?
Yeah.
That's
she was, like,
funny.
Eating too fast, and she threw up, and he was laughing, and I was like mortified because I was like
You're
embarrassed.
like, I swear she never does
Yes,
this.
literally. I was like,
Yeah.
no, like she's so cute and like cuddly. She doesn't, like she never throws up. And I think I cried because I was so embarrassed. Anyway, trauma. From elementary school. And he had a chicken named Butterball. I remember that. He also had animals. That's why I was in love with him. Actually, I used to bully him really bad. I don't know.
Oh, Jesus.
Except it was like when it was like the I have a crush on you, so I'm gonna beat you up kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I would like chase him in the grass, and I would grab him by the by the back of the shirt, like the collar, and I would yank him to the ground.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I don't think I would have to go like back in time to check. But I don't think they were actually scared of me. I think that they thought it was a game. I think. But I'm not certain.
My very first crush in the whole wide world was this boy, and I was a girl. Could it be any more obvious?
I was just gonna say that.
And his name was Austin, and I loved him. And what?
First name Austin, last name Show. It didn't work out because he liked boys. Oh.
He was gay. No. I loved him. And we had this game called Don't Eat Santa. Have I told you about Don't Eat Santa before?
No.
Oh, no. Okay. So in kindergarten, we had a game. I have a graph to show us what this looked like. Because whenever I talk about Don't Eat Santa, everyone thinks I'm crazy. So essentially, it was a bingo board. Audio listeners, I'm drawing. So bingo board. And it had all these different versions of Santa. So there was a Santa with a funny hat on. There was a normal Santa. There was a Santa that had a parrot. There was, all these different Santas. And essentially, you'd sit on a table of like 6 kids. One kid would leave the room, and the table of 6 would choose a Santa that's their Santa, right? And they'd put M&Ms on top of every single one. And then little girl comes on in, that's me, and you grab an M&M and you eat it. And then you grab an M&M and you eat it. And if you grab an M&M off the Santa they chose while you're gone, they all yell, "Don't eat Santa!" And then you don't get any more M&Ms.
Okay. That sounds really boring, but I get it.
It's really high stakes. It's
Okay.
like Russian roulette when you're a kid.
Okay.
So I leave the room and I come back in, and Austin is in my group. And so I've got to look cool, right? I've got to get all the M&Ms before this. And so I grab the M&M and I'm fine. I didn't get the wrong one. But then I realized that if I eat this M&M in front of Austin, he's going to think
you're
that I'm fat.
How old were you?
I was in kindergarten.
Insane.
Isn't that sad? I weighed like 30 pounds.
That's crazy. That's actually really
Isn't that
scary.
So sad.
I
know.
I don't think I had any thoughts like that until high school.
Oh. Well.
That's crazy.
Anyway, and so then I thought, okay, I won't eat them. I'll save them for Austin because I don't want him to think I'm fat, and then I'll give him a treat, which is even better. So I grab them all. Eventually I get the wrong one where they're like, "Don't eat Santa." And they're all in my hand and whatever. A few like games turn on. And then I turn to Austin, he's next to me, and I'm shy and I'm trying to offer this peace treat. I'm like, "Hey, I saved my candies for you." And he was like, "Really?" And I open my hand and they're all melted. He goes, "Ew, poo."
No. That's so
not only,
sad.
I know, it was tragic. I still think about it. I'm like, I wonder if he still thinks I have poo hands.
He does, for sure.
Do you think he misses me?
No, because he thinks you're gross and fat and have poo hands.
I have poo hands.
That is so sad. We should do a whole episode on things that we've done to impress men and just embarrass ourselves for an hour. I have so many funny, even from like elementary school. It's so funny.
So many.
I had a guy. Now I'm spoiling for that episode. I had a guy that I had a crush on in middle school. Super emo kid, like really depressed. Like
ain't no way.
Would like cut himself and was like said that he wanted to die all the time.
Yeah.
Kind of like goth, whatever. I had a big crush on him, and I wanted to impress him, and he liked playing quarters at lunch. And
okay.
Which is when have you played that? It's not a game. It sucks.
Is it like
yes. Well, you put your hand on a table like you're punching through the table, like straight down, and then the person sitting across from you flicks a quarter into your knuckles. Some people call it bloody knuckles too. You just flick a quarter into your knuckles until one person says like, "All right, I've had enough," or like, "Okay, I give up," like mercy. And so I want him to think I was cool, and so I just played quarters with him all lunch, and it like breaks skin. I'm like, my knuckles were just bleeding. Like, how insane is that?
You just wanted him to like you?
Yeah, literally it. I want him to think I had a high pain tolerance or something. Like, that's hot. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But he did think I was way cooler after that. It worked, but that's crazy.
Remember Tony, who I always talk about that I was so in love with?
Yeah.
In high school? I used to
make him with Tony, dude.
I loved Tony. I used to make him fresh cookies every week.
That's crazy.
I used to give him hand massages at lunch, to which I would bring lotion, different scents, so he could choose them.
That's so embarrassing. At school,
so
like
pathetic.
in front of other people.
So pathetic.
Dude,
yeah.
I think we should do a whole episode on that.
That's so pathetic.
That's really cringy. Oh, not
I almost spilled my coffee. It's fine though. We do have to say before we wrap up this episode, I have to apologize to Kate Middleton. She has cancer, which is way less pog than getting a BBL.
Yeah, I don't remember speculating about a BBL. I just thought that she was dead, but I'm glad that she's not.
Huge that she's not dead. Let's celebrate that. But big bummer.
Yeah, that's really sad.
Yeah, that sucks. It's super sad.
Sorry, coyotes. It sounded weird though. On the Patreon, I I'm going to talk about something that really pissed me off last week that I could not talk about on YouTube. I'm going to. It's crazy.
I am going to talk about my new business adventure.
Mine is, I'm going to talk about
starting a new company.
I'm going to talk about the OnlyFans thing on Patreon, I think.
Whoa, whoa, wee, whoa.
It's a crazy story. It happened last week. Anyway, we're going to go over there.
We're going to go over there.
Like and subscribe.
Okay. Like and subscribe.
Goodbye.
I was checking my phone because I thought I had more topics. Bye. I did Deco Den last week. Do you know what that is?
Is it when you made jewelry boxes, the cakes? Yeah. I saw them on your Instagram story. What is it? Like silicone? Yeah. Oh, so cute. It opens. Oh my God, so cute.
I learned a lot about like the business of Deco Den, and now I want to open my own Deco Den shop.
Okay. As like a franchise owner?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.